Welcome to another episode of the Evan.
Okay, so weather update. What's the temperature? So it's so cold today. I mean, it would be one of the coldest days probably on record, right? So between
Let me check.
it started started
Let me check
snowing since
now.
4 p.m. yesterday, but yeah, 4 p.m. in the afternoon yesterday, and it's supposed to snow. It's still snowing, right? It's supposed to snow.
It's minus 11, but feels like minus 17.
Yeah, so it's minus 11 degrees, feels like minus 17 degrees, and it's
That's in Celsius, by
yeah,
the way.
degrees Celsius. Yes, correct. And so it's going to be sub-zero today, tomorrow, and on Monday.
Monday, yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cold out here. Yeah, enough of that. But I hope you having a warm day wherever you are. Thanks for joining us for today's episode of The Avalanche, and we always pleased to come your way. And we don't just say that, but we truly pleased to come your way every now and then. And we, as usual, please go out there and share the feed. And as soon as you join us, please say a hello to us, say a hi to us, and we'll be pleased to get you into the discussion. So today we are having this episode in the basement, and as you can see, the basement project is really trending well. uh, and so yeah, thank you for joining us. Prissy will give us a topic for today, right?
Yeah, so the topic for today.
Yeah. And again, like as usual, we don't plan any of this, right? We just come speak our minds and go away, right? So some of the days, and I've actually, well, let me say we have, because Prissy has been sort of coming around just to create trouble and go away. So,
Not
so,
true.
so we
You are just ungrateful when I help.
the help is uncalled for. Anyway, so yeah, I've been working down here for some time, trying to um push and get this completed. As you can see, I think the last time we had the van here in the basement, it was just at the framing stage.
Yeah, the
Right?
framing.
It was at the framing stage. I think that we made good progress. Let me say we, so Prissy is happy about that, right? So we've made good progress, and yeah, the goal is to try and use this downtime. Cold, you can't go anywhere, right? So use that period to really get this,
One man contractor.
yeah, this going and finish up with. So it's been good progress over the past few days. I mean, been trying to do what is called taping and mudding.
You're already giving us a topic here.
Oh,
You can lecture us.
we've um done the taping and mudding. Baby, my tablet or something. So
I get
yeah,
it.
yeah. So basically, it's been quite a journey, right? So like I mentioned, we started with framing out the whole basement, and then doing the electricals, doing the plumbing, and four.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let me just at least share my feed, and then we can get going. Okay, yeah. So done the electricals, done the plumbing, and the drywall, and currently trying to frame. I'm sorry, mud and tape the drywall. Uh, Someone has actually in the past asked that we put some of these things in the live session, like um, show myself really doing it. Maybe the person doesn't believe that I'm doing it. So yeah. So yeah, maybe would take a little or around, but let me just share my feed. We are live. Okay, and so if you've not done so as well, please go ahead and do so. Yeah, so again, when you join us, shoot a hello, shoot a hi. If you have any questions about what is going on so far, just let us know. Yeah. Is this worth it? Like, is it worth all the time, all the effort, all the energy and stuff? Hey, Mrs. Wilson and Sobonate, good to have you. Is it worth all the energy and time and effort? Because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of nights, right? Days, hours. Yes, my
I
hours,
only
not
pop in
Prissy.
once a while.
Yeah, not Prissy's hours. Prissy just.
Because when I try to give him a hand, like he wants to take everything, like all the glory to himself. He's like, I don't need you here.
Yeah.
And I have things to do too. So I just pop
So,
in for some few minutes and then walk away.
so yeah, so it feels like Prissy would just want to come in, walk around, touch one or two, and
I
say
do that. Can I
and say
fight
that we
an
are,
assist? Can I hold
and,
this for
and,
you?
and say
Like,
that
no,
we
I
are,
do it by myself.
and say that, oh, we are doing it together.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
I even have things to do.
meanwhile, it is myself doing it and Prissy giving me trouble.
No, you just want to take all the credit for yourself. So you don't want, because you know when I touch it, then there's both of us.
It's
So-
different. You see, it's different when you like have someone really helping you, okay? And it's different when you have someone only wanting to say, "Oh, we did it," and so once you come and just touch one or two things and then go out.
No, it's because
So-
of your selfish reasons. You just want to take everything for yourself, all the credit.
Yeah, so
so I agreed. You did everything.
yeah, so
one man contractor.
and Prissy helped to give motivational support,
No,
right? You're
I
happy
can't
about that?
I can't help it.
Oh god. Yeah, so hey, Dennis, thanks for joining us. So it's again, it's been quite hectic. So you would ask yourself, okay, is it worth all the time? Is it worth all the energy spent on this? And I would say 100% worth it. Why? One, it's a lot of great experience, right? So again, I would engage Sami, and then we would try to do a small documentary on this from when it all started. Because when you see how this whole place was at the beginning and what it is now, it's awesome. Like you feel all your creative juices in you like start dancing.
That's brings that to something to mind about
Okay.
today's topic. I think that
Mhm.
we can talk about learning
Mhm.
evocation in
Okay.
addition to if you are even maybe an engineer
Okay.
or you do a white collar job.
Yeah.
Is it a white collar job?
Yes. White collar
call
job.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, you should learn something else.
You should learn
like evocation.
a blue color skill as well.
A skill, yeah, because sometimes it goes a long way to
Yeah.
So for me,
Mhm.
for instance, I know how to do a lot of things with my hands, like
Yeah.
braid,
Yeah.
weave.
Yeah.
I'll say that I have basic skills in screen printing,
Right.
making fabrics. Because at a point I did tie and dye with my mom. I can make ice cream. I make fresh yogurts. Like I can make things with my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes you might find yourself at a place where you will not be able to apply the book, your book, whatever, and
Yeah.
that additional vocation
Yeah.
might be helpful. If not helpful to you personally, maybe it will be helpful to you in terms of finances.
Correct.
So aside, I believe that aside having that white color, whatever
Whatever you
we call it,
studied in
the
school.
office job and whatever, sometimes I think that it's also good to learn something that you can do with your hands, because you
Correct.
might not always be at a place where you can easily get a job in the sector that maybe you relocated, and then you have that gap to try to
settle in.
or maybe you have to upgrade or do some certification before you can work.
Yeah.
You can apply some of these skills that you learned,
Absolutely.
and then yeah, you can make something out of it. So
Yeah.
so like he has learned all those carpentry, construction, and all that. He did that when he was young, right?
Yeah.
And I think
So-
the best time to learn them also is when you are like in your teens and all that. So I think I want to encourage parents to also let their kids aside. Oh, I want my child to be studying.
Yeah.
You know, some people will not even make their kids do any home chores or anything. They want their child to be professors, so-called professors. So they would want their child to only pay attention to books and nothing else. I think you are doing how do you call it, a great
disservice
to your kid.
Yeah.
So for me, I believe that aside your kid learning like
the books
and all that, let them also learn something they can do with their hands. Yeah, something that can make them be independent if they don't have maybe somebody employing them or something. Yeah, so
right.
it's very essential that they learn something else in addition to the book knowledge.
Yeah, that's true. So I think yes, I had my first experience with all these tradesman skills, maybe around what 4 years, 5 years, because of my grandpa and my dad and my uncles. They were into construction, blah blah blah. My grandpa was into carpentry, and so on and so forth. So yes, it was pretty expected that we'll all touch things pertaining to building, carpentry, blah blah blah. But again, when your teacher is seriously teaching you pre-technical skills, you take it very seriously, because you might never know where you need it. And things like, I remember life skills, when they make us sew and so on and so forth, those are also, and pre-vocational skills helping you learn, blah blah blah. So anything apart from all the book grammar stuff that we know can actually help.
Go a long way to help you.
So sometimes, like when I go to the office and I show pictures of progress of this project, like whatever I've done, people are so surprised. Oh, because it's very expensive, right? It's like we mentioned earlier, sorting out this basement that we've been doing for some time. Yeah, we've been doing for some time. Goes into,
I've asked him to get an extra how do you call that flat thing you use?
what's that?
The one you are using for the stage you are in. How do you call that?
The Madden.
The Madden.
Yeah, it's called a knife. It
Yeah.
looks like a thrower, but
I've told you that you should get an extra.
I have extra.
I could easily do it.
That's this one.
Yes.
I have extra. See, I actually have 4 of them.
Because for me, I
have
like things that I can do with my hands, like construction.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not a technician, I even used to open my laptops,
Yeah.
work on them and fix them. So
Right.
so I believe I can do it, but maybe he's afraid that
I might not want to do double work, right? So
I'll do it.
Exactly. I mean, so yeah, it ends up being so apart from everything that you do And for me, it's actually not even about the money. It's just the fact that like trying new things, doing things. So I really enjoy the experience of it. Hey Dennis, how's it going? Yeah, so um it might not necessarily in our case, right? Doing this alone would save us at least, like I mentioned in the past, $40,000 to $60,000. That's a lot of money, right? So it's we having fun with it, but we also saving a lot of money with it, right? Instead of bringing someone to come do it,
Yeah.
and it's been a lot of great work. I'm proud of myself. Hey, I'm proud of us ourselves. Especially
You don't have to.
when
You
I
don't
see
have to.
the oh my sister take the compliments. Especially when I see the how it's coming up the finished work. I'm intentionally not showing you today because today we are talking about life skills. Maybe next week we'll show all that, right? But it's pretty impressive, right? Pretty impressive. Currently, we should get to a point where we almost ready to paint. And as you might be aware, here you use drywall, right? Drywall to build. So after the framing, all you do, and I'm sure you saw the video of when we were doing the framing. That one we did a Facebook live on that on the Evan, right? Yeah. And then after that, we did the drywall. So the drywall is supposed to cover all the studs you have and do the ceiling, blah blah blah.
A drywall is basically like a block.
It,
I would say it's
it's
a block
more
way,
like
but like
no, it's yeah. What so it's like a card, right? But just you can pick one of the small. Yeah, that one is.
what's it big?
You see how heavy it is. Yeah, exactly. So this is it. The surface is made of paper, right? But it has like a cementitious material behind it, like cement, right?
And it's
Behind it.
breakable.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I'm
So
surprised.
and these things are fire resistant, blah blah blah. You have a type that is also mold and moisture resistant, and that's what I've used in the bathroom because there'll be a lot of moisture and stuff there, right? So there are different types of drywall. So yeah, we finished the drywall phase. We just have 2% of drywalling left to be done, and so yeah, we've been at this taping and mounting. So taping is basically you trying to um cover the joints, the respective joints of the drywall. Because the drywall, I'm using a 4x8 feet drywall. So each board is 4x8, right? So after you finish and you cut them and you join them, blah, blah, blah.
Like you are plastering, right?
Yes, then you use the tape to cover all the joints, and then you use the mud to you apply the mud over there like plastering to get all the joints covered up. And so that's pretty much what we've been up to for the past few days. When did we start this? Like Thursday?
Yeah.
It was Thursday, right?
Yeah, I think
Thursday
Thursday, yeah.
night. So basically, when I come back from the office, then
That's part 2.
yeah, you come to
Come for your night shift.
work part 2 here in the basement and try to get it going. And I mean, with the kind of speed we're going with, I'm sure that it would be done pretty soon, right? So yeah, that's what we've been up to, and especially this time that we don't have the um, flexibility of going out because
Yeah, we can go out.
temperatures are, as in, like I said, sub-zero. So we
It won't be fun being out
exactly
at all.
doing anything unless you want to go and check how easily water freezes. Then you go out there and check that. Yeah. So apart from that, we'll just be focused on this. Hopefully by the end of tomorrow, God willing, it should have gone really, really far.
You should be done with the Madden.
Yeah, Madden, hopefully.
Then the next
Then
is flooring.
Yeah, do the flooring, then get ready to paint and finish up the bathroom.
Yeah. So are you doing
Because
everything by yourself?
no, you would help me.
I mean,
No,
are you going
you
to
would be.
get an expert here,
You
or
would
you
be.
are the expert, jack of all trades?
I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing anything. Right.
Okay. So I hope you're going to allow me to lay some of the flooring like by myself.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll start with building like a small dummy house, like play house. Then I'll see how well you do there, and then you'll be allowed to come to the real production environment, right? So first we'll create a lab. Where's your phone? Yeah, we'll create a lab, and then we'll get you try your hands on the lab, and then later we'll come. Yeah. Okay, so that's great. And again, if you have any questions, let us know. If you have any um, contributions or anything, I mean, about building. I mean, it feels great to start something and be pushing it to completion, right? I mean,
But
especially if it's a building.
there's a caveat: if you don't have the motivation of completing stuff, please don't start.
Exactly. Yes.
Don't
Yes.
don't do it by yourself. Hire an expert, because there are people who also try to do it yourself, and they actually make it even worse.
Yeah.
Because you as you start, you cannot complete it.
Correct.
If you call somebody to come and do the correction, it might
Yeah.
even be more expensive than
Yeah.
asking the expert to come in and start from day one.
Absolutely.
So if you don't have that motivation to start something and finish it,
Yeah.
don't attempt it.
I perfectly agree. That's a good point. Hey, Nino, thanks for joining us. That's a very good point because when I started this project, so remember, I'll go to work. I mean, my engineering office, come back, and that is like my whole day gone, right? And when you come back, you expected to get energy to come and do this, and you will not always have that kind of energy to do that, right? So you not always feel fresh to come and work. You not always feel even motivated to even pick a tool to do anything, right? I mean, and sometimes like during the American presidential elections, I like listening to people. I like following all these things. So there was no way I was even coming to the basement to come and do anything. So I took my sweet little time to enjoy the all the discussions we are going around about the elections and everything. Now after that, sometimes you feel okay, let me go and continue. You feel motivated a bit, you come, and then you go like, okay. So there should always be, and I think I've mentioned this before, but there should always be a why. The why is the key driver. The first why for starting this was that so that we would have a place for when our visitors, we have visitors here, they would come sleep here. So when we were having a couple of visitors coming, there was a motivation to push, 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 push. So the visitors came and they went, and so then there was no motivation again. They go like, okay, why do I even worry myself? I could use my time for something better, right? And then all of a sudden, we are here again since Thursday because there is a new motivation which we are not going to disclose. Even if whatever you do, we are not going to disclose. You get to know later, right? So there is a new motivation to now get this done, and that's why it's we really going at it heavily, pushing to get it done. And so I think when you pick up such do-it-yourself projects, you should have real motivation because it's a lot of work. Will I do this again? Absolutely yes. In fact, we're planning to do it again, right? But you need to encourage yourself in the Lord, like Bible says. David encouraged himself in a lot. So you would really need to have a lot of motivation, have a strong why before you can really.
And I think it also applies to not projects like do-it-yourself projects alone, but even in business.
Yeah.
You need to have motivation because
Correct.
sometimes you start a business and usually when you start the business, the initial phase is like a learning phase.
Yeah.
So you face all those challenges. You might even start not making any profit and rather be making losses.
Correct.
But then if you don't have that motivation to make it work, you might easily abandon your dream of
and let me just add this to it. I was thinking about this when just last night, right? When you go through a steep learning curve to learn something, you might not have had your wins you expected at that particular point. But you see, the problem is if you quit at that point, you've made all your learning useless, right? So it's better you keep going at it so that your learnings could be very useful. And this applies to relationships as well, marriage, everything, right? You stayed with someone, you learning to live with a person, and you've gone through all the tough times, hurdles, smoothing phase, trying to know each other better. Then all of a sudden you say, oh, you've quit. Now all you've done is that those learnings are supposed to help you like move on, right? But if you start then, especially
there's a stage
you
learn a lot, especially when things are going wrong. With my experience as a researcher too, there comes a point where like things you encounter a lot of challenges in your work and all that, and that is when you do a lot of learning, because you have to go back and read and see what could be causing your issues. And so by the time you are sorted out your issues, you would have done a lot of learning, things that you didn't even know before. You get to learn them and add them to your knowledge base.
Database.
So that when we encounter challenges, it's not really about it's a difficult situation. Challenges is always not bad. Sometimes it helps our learning. Absolutely. It adds to our experiences. So absolutely. So we should just be able to pull through that stage.
So regardless of whatever you find yourself doing, marriage, projects, do-it-yourself projects, your workplace, your primary work, your secondary work, anything, you definitely encounter challenges. It means you are taking action, right? Now, are you going to stop? Okay, congratulations. Stop. Go and sleep. It's fine. It's good. You keep moving on. You keep pushing. And that way you keep getting better at it, right? I'm sure that if I decide to do another remodel project, basement remodel project, it will be easier, it will be more fun, and it would be more informed, because there are things I would buy that, or there are things I wouldn't buy because I've learned that, okay, maybe I wouldn't use much of it on the project, right? So, I mean, it's always good to push through those challenging phases and keep going, and you definitely break through. So with whatever it is, yours might not be a remodel project like this, but it could be something that needs you to keep pushing through. So hey, guys, push it, keep pushing it, keep making it count. Don't let all the learnings you've done go waste. That's it. Don't let all the learnings go waste. Keep pushing, and everything's gonna be all right. So it was great coming your way today with my co-worker, able co-worker who
I'm
is
more like an inspector.
a supervisor, exactly. A supervisor who comes to ask questions the workers don't want to hear. It's like that in your workplace, right? The supervisor will just be somewhere and just come and go like.
I come in and I ask one or two questions, and like the feedback I get, it's like, I don't want you around.
Why are you my boss.
So I finally find my way
yeah,
out of the construction zone.
the construction site. Think about it. I'm sure all of us have had supervisors like that. They don't necessarily know their work, but they just want to meddle in
But that's the
everything
work
you
of
are
a
doing.
supervisor.
They want to meddle in everything
They
you are
have to
doing
be sure you are doing the right thing.
and come and ask questions that shouldn't be answered.
Or they want to be sure that you know what you are doing.
Wow, look at this. Yeah. So we'll keep working at it. But what we'll do is by next week we'll try to do a walkthrough, a real walkthrough, and it will be fun, right? So thanks so much for joining us. Hey, Mrs. Notte, thanks for joining us. So we go back to work. My goal today is to work for 18 hours on this project to keep pushing. Supervisor, how many hours are you going to work?
I have things to do.
Okay.
I have my own stuff to do.
There we go.
I'll come and check in.
Okay, so thanks so much for joining us. Stay warm wherever you are. If you are in a cold zone, but always remember, no two relationships are the same. Thank you. Cheers and bye for now.